Okay, guys, welcome back to Giver. We are back. We are back. Uploading this episode a few days late. Not our fault, but kind of our fault. I was traveling. I was
Whose
traveling.
whose fault is it if it's not our fault?
This is true. It is our
It
fault. We
for
should have
sure.
planned better in advance, but it's okay. We're doing it now to get this up for you guys.
Mhm.
And welcome back. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, how are
Yeah.
you? I feel like you were in Wait, were you somewhere before Chicago?
Yeah, I was in Jersey.
Oh yeah, you went to Jersey and then you flew right to Chicago.
Yeah, so I was gone for a while.
Do you feel like crazy? Like do you feel like frazzled and stuff?
A little, yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit. And then I got back to this Airbnb last night that we're renting, Mel,
Mhm.
and it's literally like a college frat boy has lived there. Because Christopher's been there. There's like food everywhere, boxes stacked, shit everywhere. I had to get up this morning and I was just like cleaning, but it's okay. It's fine. It's just
They just have completely different standards of like
I
living quarters, you know?
I cannot cook in a kitchen with just like dirty pots and pans stacked up and like food crumbs all on the ground. I'm like, this is actually disgusting. Like I'm stepping in food. I'm like, I can't.
I know. It's I Ian is very clean in terms of like clutter and like putting things away, but
But I
sometimes
think
I'll
that's because of you. I think
yes,
it's
100%.
'cause
That
of
was
you.
learned.
Yes.
But I think because he's so good with that, I don't really say anything about anything else, but sometimes I wake up and there's like the counter is dirty. I'm like, "Did
Yeah.
you not wipe the counter? Like, do you not see that there's like grease on the stove?"
Yeah.
And I just like I hate it, but
I know.
I mean,
I
I
know.
pick my battles because he cleans everything so
Yeah.
immaculately other than
Yeah.
just like wiping surfaces, you know?
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean,
Christopher doesn't really do anything.
no. No, wait, tell them the story of when I was first coming down and he was like going to you for like advice on like what he should get to like clean his house.
Okay.
Remember the sheets?
First of all, I mean, there was a little bit where I think I was like offering to come clean his apartment for him. I might have done it a few
Oh,
times.
that
But
sounds like
when you were coming down, I don't think he even asked me. I think I was just like, "Do you have a duvet? Do you have sheets?" And he was like, "No, I don't need that." I'm like, "You need to get a duvet and you need to get a duvet cover."
this is before I met him, you guys. And like Melissa's like setting him straight. Oh my God.
He's
Yeah.
actually so thoughtful, but I just don't think like men think about like the house like that. You know
Right.
what I
No, no,
mean?
no. Yeah. No, it's okay. And I get it. I give him some grace because we have been busy and it has been like a shit show and like,
Well, he's so busy every day too. I feel like
yeah.
he's being pulled in a million different directions.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's fine. But I just got up this morning and like cranked it out. So I still need to unpack because we're gonna be there for like 3, 4 months. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's okay. Wait, can we okay, you guys, every time Melissa's on this podcast, she's in huge, oversized clothes. That's just what she likes. Your arms, I'm not okay. Mel, your arms are gone.
I know. I listen, thank you first of all, but I feel like because it's so new to me that I still like look at myself in the mirror sometimes and I'm like, "Oh my god, like what's going on?" Like I feel like my entire like shape composition is like I mean different than it's ever been my entire life.
Yeah, this is wild. You look amazing, first off,
Thank
but
you.
like you are so little. I have never you've always had very lean arms. Even when you're like muscular, like they're always like lean. Like she always has a little shoulder cap, like but you're built. Where now you still have the same like genetic shape, but everything's just like shrunk.
I know. Ian was
Like you
touching
literally lost a lot of muscle, but that was the goal. That was
Yeah,
the goal.
Ian was like touching my arms the other night and he was just like, "What?" He even when he like holds me, he's like so confused because like I've been leaner obviously, but my I'm 152 pounds right now.
Girl, when you were here and you were gonna compete, that your lowest weight was like 151, right?
I
Or
was
something like that?
154.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. To listen, I was kind of freaking out, I'm not going to lie, because I don't want to I don't wanna lose it all. Like,
Right.
I still like looking like a strong, like, I still like having muscles, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And, like, the upper body I'm super comfortable with, but the lower body, I'm getting kind of, like, worried that I'm losing everything. And then I trained yesterday and I, like, did quad extensions and I was, like, looking at my quads. I'm like, "Okay, I'm still fucking jacked." And Ian was like, "I don't think you don't have an accurate, like, representation of you losing all your muscle because you think like, even you losing what you're losing now, you're still a very muscular person."
Yes.
But it's like it's weird
Yes.
when it's your own body. I'm sure you can
Yeah.
relate.
Yes, for sure. For sure. And I get what you're saying with like the body composition changing. Like you're small, but you're maybe not as like
Tight.
I fucking hate the word tight, but you know what? You maybe you're
Mhm.
not as like you said, you're very tiny, but you're not like as lean. But I
Mm-mm.
actually don't mind that at all. And I feel my best like that, like not being super shredded. I could weigh the same exact weight, but if I'm like shredded with like veins and shit in my abs, I don't feel as good as just like probably how you feel now. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Kind of. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like when you
Yeah.
used to compete and then now, like
Yeah,
totally different.
it's so different, and it's weird because like, I don't know, everything still feels tight, but it's just not I think it's, like, less dry, if that
That
makes sense.
yes, yes. Like you have like a little layer, but it's like tight and like just smaller. But it's not
Mhm.
bad.
No. No,
Like,
no,
you look
no.
amazing. My mom was even looking at your Instagram. She's like, "What is Melissa doing?" I'm like, "Mom, I don't know. She's on an operation to, like, lose muscle." She's like, "Even her face, it's so beautiful. Like, it looks so good. She looks so natural." I'm like, "You just look so good. Like, you look so healthy and happy, and, like, that makes me really happy for you."
Yeah, I feel like I finally am just, like, living for me, if that makes
Yeah,
sense, and it's I don't want it to sound like I wasn't living for me before because I was making the decisions. I was, like,
sure.
driving the car, but I
Yeah.
was, like, following the wrong directions almost, like, I
Oh,
thought that I wanted to be a successful figure competitor, and I wanted to, like, gain muscle in my back so I could be good at that, and I wanted to get, like, thicker glutes so I could be successful as that at that. But that's not actually what I wanted. I just
yeah.
thought that the success was, like, making me feel good and gonna bring me something, and it
Mhm.
was, like, taking away from, like, I don't know, my decision for how I wanna look. And, like,
Yeah.
people are asking me at the gym, they're like, "What's, like, I see you, you're on the treadmill. How many miles did you walk? Like, what's the deal? Like, why are you trying to lose all this muscle?" I'm like, "It's purely aesthetic." Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just I wanna look in the mirror and be like, "Wow, you look fucking good." And it was, for a while, I mean, for a really long time, years, I wasn't really comfortable.
Even when you were super lean, but, like, more jacked, you even said, like, sometimes you'd be like, "Ugh, like, my arms look too jacked," or "I look
Yeah.
too ripped."
Yeah.
Where you wanna like, now I think because now you're, like, making the decision for you and not
Mhm.
doing it, like, for not anyone else, but, like, other reasons besides, "Hey, this is, like, what I want," like,
Mhm.
it really changes your whole aura, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
just, like, start when people are like, "Oh, you look, like, happy," or like, "What did you do?" Like, "What's the thing?" It's like, you're just, like, doing what Melissa wants to do for Melissa. That's it.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
everything changes when you just, like, follow your alignment and what feels good and like, cancel the outside noise, I feel, like, you really just, like things start to change and just start to, like, naturally kinda, like, work, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's still effort because you're obviously like, I'm trying, like,
Yeah,
there's effort going into this, but it's almost like there's energy that's being spared that was being used before on, like, forcing myself to do these things, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Whereas
yeah.
now it's I'm in alignment, so, like, that energy is not being used to be like, "Okay, you have to do this. This is the plan, you have to do this." Like,
Mhm.
I don't even need to think about that anymore because I'm just, like, following my gut and my heart, and
Yeah,
it's, like, so like, n it's not easy, you know what I mean? I'm still hungry, like, I'm still, like, I'm trying hard, like, there's a lot of effort, and there's some periods of, like, moments where I'm uncomfortable, but it's just so different. I don't know, it's like
yeah,
it's so
yeah.
different.
Well, I'm so happy for you. You literally, like, look like, you just shine differently. Not because you're like, "Oh, I lost muscle," but just, like, you just your energy seems and feels happy, and that makes me happy for you. Like, you
Yeah,
literally, like,
I feel,
look
like,
happy.
comfortable.
Yeah,
I just feel like
yeah.
Whereas before, like, I was carrying around a bit of shame, you know what I mean? I
Like,
was carrying
elaborate. Like, just like
like, the things that I knew I was doing to my body, I
mm,
felt a bit
mhm.
ashamed, so even if someone was like, "Oh, you look so good," I, like, couldn't even accept that because I'm like, "At what cost?" I
Yeah.
also, like, I don't know, if someone's telling you, like, I don't know, for example, your hair. If someone's like,
Yeah.
"I fucking love your hair, like, it looks so good," but you don't like it, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, I just feel very comfortable, and it's like a conviction in, like, my actions and my decisions, so, honestly, even if someone were to come up to me and be like, and some people have said it, like, "You looked better before," or whatever, like, it actually doesn't matter to me, whereas
Yeah.
before, if someone came up to me and was like, "Oh, you look like a man," that would really, really affect me.
Mhm.
Now, like, someone commented on my photo or something and said that I looked manly, and I didn't I I actually had 0% of a feeling to that comment because I'm not doing anything to my body that's against my femininity. Whereas
Yeah.
before I was, and I
Yeah.
knew it and it bothered me. And I'm not,
Mhm.
maybe if it doesn't bother other people, I totally respect that. I, part of me kind of wish that I didn't really care so I could still compete and like get to my full potential. I'm never going to get to see that. But
Yeah.
at what cost? Like, was
Yeah.
I doing that? And it's
Yeah.
not worth it. You know what I mean?
No, I completely agree, and I think it's more powerful you doing what you wanna do for you
Hmm.
and being, like, convicted in that rather than just like, "Oh, I could have seen my full potential," like, who I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you doing what you wanna do for you is ultimately, like, the
Yeah.
best
Yeah. I mean,
best thing you can do.
if you succeed at something that you're like good at, but you don't even like doing it, like, is that really success?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's so wild. Like, I'm just like, "Oh my god, you're a little peanut, and you have these great tits that are just like your boobs are so big for, like, your little chest."
Ian literally said that. He was
It's
like,
so
the smaller you're getting, the bigger your boobs are getting. I'm
yeah,
like, "Oh my
it's
god,
so
my implants are probably gonna be, like, way too big for, like, this
yeah,
new."
it's okay. You might just have a little bit of a stripper look for a while, but it's fine. Like, own that shit. I love it. You look
Oh,
great.
yeah, just enjoy it until they need to come out, but I said to him, I'm like, "There's no way that I can get pregnant and still have these in." Like, my
So
boobs
you
would be out to here.
yeah, yeah.
I can't.
You have pretty big implants. But you would actually wanna take him out before you get pregnant.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, it's hard because I feel like after babies, women usually want a a reconstruction because
Right. Right.
especially if you breastfeed, and
Mhm.
you don't really wanna, like, go under more than you have to.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, but it's really hard for me to picture myself, like, being pregnant and, like, feel trying to enjoy it as much as, like, one can and be comfortable and
Mhm.
having, like, I don't even know what size they would be.
Yeah, they'd be
They're
big.
F now. They would be like,
Yeah, they'd be huge.
because like, people's boobs go up, like, almost 4 sizes when they're
I know.
pregnant.
Yeah, I know. Like,
S
they get, like yeah, literally. How
so,
big are Leah's right now?
um, to
Hi,
be
Leah.
honest,
Melissa's best friend. She's
they're, yeah, she had a baby 5 weeks ago, I think now. Um, listen, they're not super big, but she was flat
no.
before, but they're,
Okay.
like, big for her.
Yeah, like, they're full of milk. They hurt. Or
I
no?
I
Right? They hurt?
I don't know if her boobs hurt. I think her nipples were, like, sore for a bit,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, she needs to heal, you know what I mean? She had a
Yeah.
C-section, and I think
Oh, yeah.
she's ready to be able to, like, walk around and
Yeah.
do normal life, and I feel like that's hard when you have a baby.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Even just recovery from pregnancy, whether that's like,
Yeah.
C-section or, vaginal delivery, like,
Mhm.
or at home birth, whatever. It's like intense. Like
I know you
I'm just like, wow to moms who just like not snap back like their body, but can just like, I don't know, get up and boom, do something the next week. Like growing a human and then delivering a human, I feel like is a huge energy just hard on the body.
well, you know, when you have a newborn too, they have to eat, I think it's every, like, 2 to 4 hours, and
Yes.
so when you start feeding,
Mhm.
like, as soon as they latch the boob, the time starts.
Mm.
and then by the time, like, the timer goes off, they need to eat again. Usually, honestly, they're probably asking to eat more frequently, but can you imagine having to, like, have someone eat off your boob every 2 hours?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Like,
like a
you're
lot.
you're I mean, Leah says she feels like a dairy cow. She's like, "All I do is, like, feed this baby, and she doesn't
Yeah.
sleep." She's waking up
Yeah.
every 2 hours every night. It's
Oh,
wild. I'm
I get
watching her and I'm
nervous
like,
moms.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Wow, this is, like, the most noble thing that any human
Yeah.
can do." Literally.
Yeah. I completely agree. Wow. Well, that's amazing. So funny like we're on this like you're losing the muscle and like what getting to how you want to look and whatever. So I just posted like right before we got on the pod this reel. So I like counted the other day like how many days until I'm 30. I'm like 74 days out, baby. But not that like that matters. Like, but sometimes when you have a goal and you're working towards something or you are clear about what you want to accomplish,
Mhm.
it makes the process easier,
Mhm.
I find.
Yep.
So I'm going like the complete opposite of you, Mel, because you know me. And like I've just been like lackadaisical with my training. I train, yes, but I'm just kind of like, when like I just kind of, go through the motions. And like when I competed, it was like get small, get lean, get super tiny bikini. Like you're like a little stick with muscle and you're just tiny. I've
Mhm.
never really focused on like progressive overload and strength training, like proper. I've
Mhm.
never ever in the 10 plus years I've been in like the fitness industry, I've not once, I've not once like followed any type of specific program to try to like build muscle or build strength. Zero. I know that's really like fucked up to say, but I never have. I just never have.
Okay,
So
so what's the goal?
So my goal is I'm going to try to eat more, even if I put on body fat. Like I'm just gonna like not get scared because sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to eat more. I want to fix my metabolism. And then I
Mhm.
put on some weight and I can tell like usually like in my hips and like kind of behind my butt and like a little on
Mhm.
my lower stomach. And then I'm like,
Mhm.
oh my God, no, I'm going back to like training like, super intense and doing a ton of cardio. And I just
Mhm.
no, I, like, can't let myself get over that threshold, and why I don't think you need to, like I don't think girls need to do, like, crazy bulks, but I think for me and, like, my body type, I do need to put on, like, some healthy body fat to put on muscle. I do.
Mm.
Like, I
Mhm.
really do. I just
Mhm.
I need to eat more, I need to eat more protein. Yeah, I just have to I just do. And that's like a goal I wanna see if I can I can just ride it out, baby, into my 30s. I said I wanna go into my 30s strong, see if I can build and just see. And, like, if I don't like it, okay, whatever. I'll just go back to, like, my little walks and chilling and training how I wanna train. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's pretty ironic that we're just, like, on
Like,
complete opposite journeys
oh,
right now, you know what I
I
mean?
know. Like, this is so great. We could talk about this though, you know? Because
Okay,
I'm like I want, like, tips from you on, like, progressive overload and, like, strength. Because I don't even like, you just increase weight every week, like, I feel like I need to get on a proper program.
how did you
Um,
decide this? Like, what happened?
I have looked the same for the past 3 years. I go up, fluctuate, like, maybe 5, 7 pounds, like, here or there, but I've just looked the same, and I don't not like how I look, like, I'm fine with it, but I kind of I miss that feeling of feeling really, like, strong in the gym because,
Mhm.
like, I can go into the gym and, like, do decent weight, but I struggle
Mhm. Mhm.
a lot, and I've even put on, like, some weight right now, and when I was in Chicago, I went and I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna fuck around and, like, let me deadlift." Deb's with me, she's doing the bar, Deb's my mom, and, I, like, add some weight, and I'm like, the weight I would max do, Mel, which is, like, 25 pounds a side, okay? And I'm like, "Oh, that was, like, light." And then I, like, keep adding weight, but I've been eating. I've been eating and I felt I'm not even in my, like, ovulatory phase, and I felt so strong. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, like, this is a really cool feeling." Like, I actually don't know the last time I've, like, wanted to keep adding weight to a bar, ever. and I got
Eh,
up, like, past the plate on each side, which is a lot for me, relative, for me.
I feel like people don't okay, Courtney's eating habits are very good. She's extremely healthy in terms of what she puts in her body, but you do eat pretty low calorie.
I would say, yeah, and it's
S
sporadic. It's like I'll eat a lot, and then I'll not eat for 5 hours, and then I'll eat a lot at night because I didn't eat that much during the day. It's just too up it's just, like, all over the place. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I feel like and I'm noticing that now because 'cause I'm eating pretty low calorie right
Yeah,
now, and
yeah.
my endurance and my, like, strength is so different than I'm used to
Mm,
feeling, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, I when I trained yesterday, I'm, like, trying to work out, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I can feel it." And it's not like I feel like you have to eat, like, pretty low food for, like, an extended period of time. It needs to be, like,
Mhm,
consistent. It
mhm.
can't just be like, oh, like your weekly average, for example. Like a lot of people will eat like birds for a few days and then they'll eat heavy and then they'll like,
Mhm.
but if you're
Yep.
to go like week over week and you're eating like a bird, like that's really going to show up in
Oh,
the
yeah.
gym and
Mhm.
even in your energy, honestly.
I was just gonna say, I am so fucking over, like, this 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, just like I'm dying. Like,
Mhm.
I am so tired. We're now like, I woke up this morning and of course there's like none of my like special creamers and shit for coffee. So I'm like, I'm not having like shitty black coffee. So I
No.
didn't have coffee, but I had energy and I like cleaned the whole house. And I'm like about
Mhm.
to get my period where I'm usually like so tired.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, the energy. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's a
No.
huge component. I
Yeah.
feel like I just want to feel I don't know, just different, I guess, you
I
know?
feel like it's like a vitality thing when you feel like you're like fueled properly. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like
mhm,
you feel like
mhm,
you can do things, you don't gas out as fast. Like
mhm.
you can go to the gym and you can exert effort and not feel like you're, gonna pass out or like
Yeah,
whatever. And
yeah,
like obviously, I mean, passing out is extreme, but when you're training like heavy and when you're lifting heavy weights for like 60 minutes, that's a lot on your body. Like
yeah, for sure.
that's a lot on your nervous system, on everything, like, I mean, progressive overload hypertrophy training is, like, no fucking joke, like,
Yeah,
there's a reason why when you train like that, you're so much hungrier, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. I know even just watching you, like, train over the years, like, with Ian and Mark and Julian, like, how gassed you would be, and I
Mhm.
never got like that, but Melissa would train until failure. I'm like, "What's training till failure?" She's like, "Come on."
No, that's
Like,
not
I just
I feel like a lot of people, especially I mean, no, not even just girls, I feel like a lot of people have no idea what that is, and, like, I don't even think I knew
no.
until, like, I started training with Ian seriously, like, 2 years ago, and, I
Right.
mean, I've been competing for 10 years, I've been,
Yeah,
like, training like this for a long time, but I didn't know like, it's hard to understand what training till failure is until you actually have someone, like, do it with you and show you,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and then you're, like, dying, and you're
Yeah.
gassed.
And then you're
So
like,
I
"Oh, I'm supposed to feel like I actually can't move and, like,
yes.
keep going anyways."
Yeah, we're like I used to kinda train, like I would go a little heavy-ish, I would say medium range, but then, like, I feel like women can do higher volume than men, just
Yes.
naturally. Like,
Yes.
we can do the 20 rep range, we can do more plyometrics, I feel. So, I would just kinda lean into that because
Mhm.
I don't think I had the proper fuel, actually, to push heavy weight.
Mhm.
So, I just, like, jumped around and did more, like, endurance, superset, superset, superset type of training, and it's not bad. Like, I think
No.
time and place is great. Like, you might lean into more, like, high volume right now and, supersets and just, something different than obviously like you used to train, which I'm sure your training has completely like, how many days do you train? 2?
Well, I just recently started, like, feeling like I'm ready to get back under weight at all.
Okay.
So, since February, which was when I decided to kind of, like, stop and change my body and my routine, I hadn't lifted weights once. And then I did
Wow.
legs once with Ian, I think like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago now.
Mhm.
And or no, I did it alone. And then I tried to do legs 3 days later with Ian. I couldn't. I was too sore. And then I did legs by myself, and it was very half-ass. Like,
Yeah.
I did a few things and the gym was so busy, someone took my, like, hip thrust machine. I did, like, a pretty heavy set of straight legs
Yeah.
with 45-pound dumbbells, so that's
Okay.
nothing. I used to
For
do
you.
I
Yeah.
used to do 80s for, like,
It's each hand.
15
Each
each
hand.
hand.
Each
I'm now doing 45 each hand, thinking like, "Oh, it's okay, I'll be fine." I did 3 sets and, like, I was probably going close to failure. I shouldn't have done that. Like, when you go back into the gym, you need to start and kind of, like, amp it up, you know what I mean? Like,
start slow
yes,
and and
you start
gradually.
and, like, don't go till failure, like,
Yeah.
wait to see till your recovery starts to catch up, till your eating starts to catch up, and then you can start actually training till failure. I went probably almost till failure. I didn't have a spot and I didn't, like, drop them, but definitely my last rep was, like, forced,
Mhm.
and, I did 3 sets like that, and I could not walk for almost 10 days. My
Yeah.
hamstrings felt like they had been ripped apart.
Like
And
ripped, like torn. Yeah.
torn. And
Yeah.
Ian's watching me. He's like, "Why are you walking like you have a dick up your ass?" I'm like, "I cannot walk right now." And it was
Just
10
like,
days. Yes.
oh my god,
And
Mel.
like, listen, within those 10
Wow.
days, like, I mean, I think we had gone out to eat 3 times where I like went in on Italian food. Like, it's not like I
Yeah.
was just like eating like, I mean, I was probably I don't know. I think it was just I'm not used to training and I'm also doing a fuck ton of cardio, so that's gonna affect my recovery.
Yeah.
And then I trained yesterday for the first time since that workout with Ian and I did legs and I'm still training like I mean progressive overload hypertrophy
Yeah.
for my lower body
Yeah.
because to be
Not upper.
honest, no, not upper.
No. Yeah.
If I might go back and start doing like light kind of not circuit training, but like superset training for my
Sure.
upper body, just do like an upper day.
Mhm.
But my lower body, like I do need to put on, especially my glutes, like muscle needs to be gained. Like it's like
Yeah.
not, it doesn't look pretty back there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, you're just tiny. It's just everything's just shrunk. It's not like
Well,
bad.
and
I'm sure
you know
it's
how
real.
like my butt was always small, even when I was competing. Now it's like very empty. Like it's
Yes.
super empty.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I
I,
feel that even with my glutes, like if I don't train them, like they kind of just like deflate. Like I
yeah,
swear, unless I'm like holding body fat, because some
yeah.
of that does go to my ass. If I'm not, I just feel like kind of like soft and like deflated until I
Y-
like pump blood in there and like it like kind of bounces back a little bit. You
yes.
know? Yeah.
Yes. So that's where I'm at. And I think I'm probably gonna eventually start to do 2 lower body days a week and then 1 upper
Yeah.
body day a week. So I'll do like 3 days with weights and then the rest will just be cardio.
Yeah. And then cardio, you're just walking. Like you're just low impact. Have you
I
started your running yet?
I
Or no?
started
You're like,
I started sprints last week.
really?
Yeah, and it was fucked up. It was so hard. But it's also like
So hard.
it's getting to the point where the walking is too easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the as fast as I can walk, it's now my heart is like, your heart rate eventually just doesn't get up anymore. So I
Yeah.
need to start something else.
Yeah. I
But
love sprints. I
yeah.
I I hate them, but to like burn fat and like to do it effectively and short, it's a short amount of time and it's
Mhm.
like so effective and
Mhm.
just phenomenal. Like
Mhm.
sprinting is phenomenal. That's what I used to do when I competed. I would sprint and do like circuit training with like battle ropes and flipping a tire and like pushing a sled. I didn't really like get on like traditional stairmaster for like an hour.
It goes
Never.
by so much
I
faster
used to.
too.
Yes. Yes, you just and you feel like holy shit, like so good after.
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so good. Okay, so I can you explain to like me kind of, like I kind of know, but not really, and like someone listening, in your opinion,
Mhm.
what does training to failure mean? Like what does that look like? Like pushing, I heard you say something like pushing past like a rep you think you can't do? Like does like what is it?
I mean, I think that to train till failure, you need a partner. You know what I
You
mean?
do. Okay.
You do
To
because
yeah.
there needs to be someone spotting you to to train like a forced rep, for example. So when you feel like you
Yes.
can't do a perfect form or you have to like, modify to like move the weight,
Mhm.
that's kind of, I would say, near the end of failure. And then once you start having someone like needing to like help you, you literally cannot stand
Mhm.
up with the bar on your back. You need someone to like help you a little bit. That's failure. And then you have someone
Yeah.
helping you,
Okay.
and that's training past failure. But
Got it.
it's it's also like I don't think it's necessary to build muscle. I don't.
Okay.
Um
Like,
I
you could
th-
do it without that.
yeah,
Someone doesn't have a training partner, like me.
yes,
I don't have a training
100%.
partner.
100%. I think if you are picking a heavy enough weight where it's challenging and you're doing enough reps
Mhm.
that you still feel like you're like gassing yourself out, I still think that you're eating, obviously,
Mhm.
you're
Yeah.
going to you're going to put on muscle. But I do think honestly the most efficient fastest way is to like train as far past failure as you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I need to find someone for a few leg days so I can
Why don't you
really
just train
try
with
to.
Christopher?
Yeah, maybe he'll actually want to. If I'm like, "I'm going for strength, babe," he'll be like, "Fuck yeah, let's go."
The
Like,
thing is, honestly, I think if you look at this as like a thing where you're like, I want you to teach me how to do this. I am coming in
yeah.
here as your student. I want you to teach me
Mhm.
and I want you to push me. I think if you actually commit and let him do that for you, number one,
Yeah.
you're going to get what you want because he obviously knows what he's doing. And
Yeah.
number two, you guys are probably going to end up becoming a lot closer.
Yeah, because I always would joke, like, I could never train with Christopher, and you would train with Ian every day, and, like, the chemistry between you guys, it was, like, great. Where me, I think because I didn't feel, I don't know, strong or, like, I kinda, like, know what I was doing, like, when he would try to help me, I would just get, like, not annoyed, I would just be like, "Yeah, yeah, but I can't, like, do it that way. I like squatting better like this." And he's like, "Okay."
Yeah, but
Where you actually, like,
you shouldn't have your
listen.
ego up with
I
your
know,
partner. Your
I know.
part especially as a woman, like, trust me, I know we wanna, like, look like we have it all together. Our men do not
Yeah,
want that. They wanna help us, they wanna
no.
teach us, and, like, if you're to just kind of, like, submit and be like, "Okay, tell me what to do," like, "I don't know. You know better. Teach me, help
Yeah,
me." That's gonna
yeah,
make him feel good, and, like,
yeah, for
you don't
sure.
need to be defensive to your partner, you know what I mean?
No,
Like, but
I know.
the thing is if
Yeah,
you're feeling insecure about him making jokes about you in the gym or him
yeah,
saying you don't really try, that's obviously
mhm,
going to affect you. So now
mhm,
you need to say like, listen, you used to joke about it and you're right. I've been like stuck and I need help
yeah,
and I don't want to be insecure about it anymore. I don't want to have an ego. I want you to show me and I want you to teach me and I want to come in as like the most ignorant person ever and you are the boss.
yeah, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. I definitely felt, like, insecure before, like, with, like,
Mhm.
what I was doing and, like,
Mhm.
I can't go heavy, this is, like, embarrassing. Even with my partner, I'm like, "Ah,
Mhm.
fuck, like, just don't
Mhm.
worry about it. You worry about you, I'll worry about me." So, thanks for
Well,
that.
a lot of people in the gym, I think, don't wanna look like they're trying, or not trying. They don't wanna
Yes,
look like they're
yes, I know
failing,
what you mean.
right? They don't wanna look like
Yes,
they can't do
yes.
something. But, I mean, training for muscle is all about doing things that you can't do.
Oh, I love that. Oh my god,
Like,
that's so good.
it's
I'm quoting you, Mel.
and, like, if you watch people in the gym when you're, like, motivated by them or you're like, "Wow, that girl looks like such a badass," she's not just,
Mhm.
like, breathing normally and, like, train you know what I mean? She's
Yeah.
trying. Like,
Yeah, no,
there's
she's, like, pushing. Yeah,
yeah.
like you crying in the leg press.
Oh my god, that was the
It's
worst
you make
set of
you
my
fucking
life.
do, like, oh, yeah, girl. No, seriously, though, but you, like, that is, like, wow, that's, like, effort. Not saying if you go in the gym and you don't have that, you're not trying, but for me, for muscle, like you just said, you have to be pushing, like, you have to.
Yeah, but
It's you
I also
just
think it's like, it's not comfortable, you know what I mean? Like,
it's not yes.
it takes time for you to become comfortable, like, making sound or breathing hard or crying or, like, or dropping a bar. Like, it takes time to get comfortable because that's not like, I don't know, that's something that people might feel like nervous about or embarrassed about, but like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I find that shit very motivating when I see
Yeah,
girls training like that.
yeah,
I honestly never see girls training like that.
no.
There's like so many girls at the gym I go to that are so fit. They're like probably in their early 20s. They're like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know what I mean? But like, have I ever seen a girl like actually like training hard and heavy? Not really.
yeah. They're far and few between,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, and I like it's just about doing, like, what you feel comfortable with, right? And, like, what you wanna do, but, like, for me, I really do wanna, like, go into, actually try for strength and try to put on muscle because 'cause I've never really honestly, like, tried that hard. Like, I would have these mini off seasons when I competed where I'm like, "Oh," eating a little more, but I wasn't like there was no plan or structure on, like, how I was training to, like, put on muscle before I started dieting again. Like,
Mhm.
never. Just kinda
Mhm.
like, "Oh, work out a few times and, like, lift a little heavier, but nothing crazy," and, like, there was, like, no really
No,
legit blueprint.
the focus was really on you like just getting your food and your metabolism
Yes.
back up. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it, and then it's like, "Time to go again."
Yeah, I
And
was
it
like that's
just
how I was too. I wasn't
yeah,
I mean until the end, but
yeah. So, maybe we'll just keep sharing along this muscle building/muscle slash muscle losing journey for both of us. But how do you feel, like, physically that you don't have as much muscle? Not like how you look, but, like, internally, excuse me. Like, how do you feel in an internal do you feel like you're super healthy, you can move easier, or no? Or you're like, "I feel the same," like
no, my upper body for sure, I can tell it's looser, you know what I mean? I feel like before I would
okay.
have, like, really tight delts and, like, tight chest and, like, my back and my traps, like, all of that is very relaxed, but, like, my lower body is still fucked, you know,
No,
from
but Mel,
walking on the
but, like,
treadmill and stuff.
inside, like, do you have more, like, energy because you are, quote,
Oh,
unquote, "lighter," or no? Or are you just kinda like, "I'm the same," like, do you feel like
I mean, I do feel better because 'cause I'm lighter, but not necessarily different from, like, when I would just get leaner, you know what I
got it.
mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like every time I'm lighter, it's, like, easier to move and to run and to like, I couldn't have
yes.
run when 40 pounds ago, like, I would be like,
No, it's
an
hard.
elephant on the
Yeah,
treadmill, but
yeah,
I feel like I don't know, it's just I just feel, like, more peaceful all around. I just have, like, way less anxiety because 'cause I'm, like,
yeah,
I don't know, I'm just, like, natural and, like, I just feel, like, healthy and
yeah. I think that's what my mom meant when she was like, "Oh my gosh, Mel looks so good, she looks just, like, different." I'm like, "She's just, like, a glowing, peaceful little angel." You're just like seriously, though. I'm like, I could feel that
I
from
have to ask
you.
you a question, actually.
Talk to
I,
me.
uh, I did, like, Fuad's live podcast, like, I don't
Mhm.
even know how long ago that was, but it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
w
that was a long time.
yeah, it just went on YouTube,
Okay.
and Ian's like, "Oh, you should read the comments, like, everybody loves you." So I go and I read the comments, and, like, most of them are nice, but there's
Yeah.
one that well, and it wasn't even mean, it was actually some man, I think it was a man, wrote, like, Mel is so beautiful inside out. I wish she would see it and stop fucking with her face.
Uh,
And I kind of like I read it and I'm like, "Oh, like I okay, like I'm not sure." And I asked Ian the next day, I'm like, "Does my face look like really plastic to you?" And he was like, "No, but like I see you every day, so I don't
yeah,
know." And I
yeah,
kind of was like, it's not the first time I've heard someone say like stop fucking with your face. Like you know what happened with me and like whatever.
yeah.
When someone said that about me, but, like, I'm like, is it because my lips are so big that people think that I have like, I'm fucking with my face so much? Like, what is it?
I don't know. I don't even really know how to I mean, you liked your getting your lips done, but I feel like your lips look smaller, and I also don't think it's, like, a big deal. I don't know because, like, your face is literally, like, completely natural
Well, my face
besides
is
your
just I know my
Your
face
lip,
is my
and you're tan and you have, beautiful, almond-shaped eyes and, your eyebrows are lifted, but that's not, surgery or,
I know,
not
but that
doing anything.
I was trying to I'm just, like, asking people because I obviously see myself every day. I know I have lips that are big that, are fake. I tell people they're fake because they're obviously fake, and, I asked Ian's buddy because he came to the gym with us the other day, and he was like, "I think it's because, like, your, like, weight changes and then it changes the shape of
Mm,
your face."
yeah. Yeah, maybe, maybe. Do you feel like you look, like, fuller with more weight? You know what I mean? Like, you're
Yeah, no, I feel way rounder, but I would never I don't know, maybe people think that's, like, filler that I'm putting in my cheeks or something?
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know,
maybe, maybe, maybe.
'cause
But, like
I like my face better when it's more deflated, obviously.
yes. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't want to have a swollen face, but
yeah.
when I gain weight, a lot of it goes to my face, you know?
I'm the same. I'm the same, and my face looks a lot more like, sunken and, like, chiseled
Mhm,
when I'm smaller, and I don't have, like, even 10 pounds on me. Like, it will go, like, in here, like, right in this area, my
mhm,
cheeks.
mhm.
But no, I don't think it's Mel, you're beautiful, like,
No,
fuck
I
it.
know.
Love your lips.
It was more just out of curiosity because I was
Yeah,
like, "Well, thank you that you think my face is plastic." Like,
yeah.
you know,
Like,
I
that's
don't
a good
know.
compliment. I was born this way. But yeah,
Oh,
no. People just, you just gotta fucking just take it for what it is. Like,
what,
who cares?
how was your visit with your dad?
It was good. It was
Yeah?
actually great. Yeah, it was really good. I spent sometimes, when I go back to Illinois, you know the smell, but, like, for the listeners, I'm from Illinois. Um, I got out right after high school. Like, my hometown isn't something I love. Like, I know my family's there. I do love them, of course, obviously. But I think, like, I had a really bad end of high school experience. I lost a lot of friends. I'm like,
Mhm,
fuck, I don't want to see a lot of people from high school. Like, I'm just kind of like, like, I don't love going back there. My parents are divorced, and like the house situation, like, is not chaotic. I guess when I was younger, maybe it was like a little chaotic, but sometimes when I go back, I'm just like, fuck, like, it's just, what's the
it
word I'm
brings up
looking
those
for?
feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes. It just brings up kind of like, oh God, like, I don't want to be here. But honestly, I was there and I was like, I was really grateful to, like, be around my mom, be around my dad, my little brother, my older brother, my stepmom. I like a lot. Like, I felt like just like at peace. I didn't feel like anxiety, or I didn't feel like irritated, and I didn't feel, not that my family makes me feel irritated, but just like, I think there are just things from my past and, like, growing up in my childhood and stuff with my dad and whatever, that just bring up a lot of feelings. But I just was like, I was just grateful, and I wasn't, sometimes, like, when you get in a certain place and, like, you feel like you need to, like, control things, and you're just like, you kind of make it worse for yourself. I was just like,
Mhm.
just let it fucking go. We're just here. We're having a good time. Like, just, it's good. And it worked. Like, I
What
felt,
what do you think has changed in you that, like, allowed this visit to be so different than the past?
that's such a good question. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think, I don't know. I don't see, like, my family a lot. So when I do, I just want to, like, actually be present and take in moments. And I saw my grandpa, and my grandpa's not doing well. He's 91. He just turned 91. Um and he's definitely at the end of his life, and I don't know, I just like, that's one thing that is promised to all of us, right? Like, we're not going to be here forever. Like, death is the one thing that we are all, like, that kind of, I'm not trying to sound fucked up saying that, but it's true. Like,
Mm,
it's it's true. And I just want to, when I'm with my family, when I'm with people I love, I just really want to be present. I don't
mhm,
want to have all of this, like, negative energy and, like, and try to control things and be pissed and live in the past. I'm like, just no. Like, all we have is right now. I'm going to be here. I'm going to switch my perspective and just lean into that. And it just changed how I showed up, but it was really good. It was really good. I enjoyed it, even in
that's
some of the
nice.
chaos. Yeah, it
I'm
was.
happy.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you.
I feel like our perspective changes, like, I mean, our reality, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, how we see something or someone or some place, I feel like can like just change the whole experience. And if you actually just like shift it and you're like, okay, it can like, I mean, change your life really.
Totally. Like, remember what we were talking about? You were going through your thing, and like, I'm just switching my perspective on it. I was like, it's out of my control. I was going through, I brought up the example with Poppy. I'm like, her shoulders like super effed up, and she's having all this like nerve damage, whatever. But I'm like, she's still like a happy little puppy, and she still loves me and wants to play, and like, she still can walk, and she still has her leg, and like, I'm grateful. Like, it's
What
okay. Like,
what happened? Like, was it yesterday that you posted that she had to get like
oh,
a IV or something? Like, what
girl.
was it?
So I don't really know. Okay, so we go into so she was acting kind of like weird.
Mhm.
Um like a few days prior, like she was like our Frenchies are like tired, they sleep all the time, but
Yeah.
she was like extra tired. And then she started to and she's never done this. Like the only time Poppy has done this is when she was a puppy, but she peed in the house
Oh.
in her bed. So I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
"Oh, she for
scary.
sure has a UTI,
Yeah.
like, bladder, 100%." Take her in, and obviously, like, if you let a UTI go, it can, like, affect your kidney, so I'm like, "Let's just, like, get on some antibiotics, whatever, nip this in the butt." But it's not a UTI. Her like, we got her urine, like, it's fine. I'm like, "What the fuck? What is it? Does she have, like, kidney stones, bladder stones? Like, what's going on?" She's, like, not herself. This dog literally can hold her bladder for 10 hours. She will never pee. Ever, ever. Like, there's something weird. And she also did, like, a double pee outside. When you, like when they pee and then go
Mhm.
again. Remember bees
Mhm.
had that? And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, yeah, like, there's something going on." They're like, "No,
Yeah.
it's nothing." I'm like, "Okay." So, anyways, like, $2,000 later, 2,000
What?
it was like 16,
Because of all
1,700,
the
yeah.
tests?
Oh my god. Ultrasound, X-rays, doctor visit, um, what else did the urinalysis, like,
Yeah.
twice. They did
Yeah.
it twice. Blood work. Oh my god, I'm just like, "It's fine, but she's my baby, I'll do anything," like, for anyone we love, like, if anyone ever needed
Well,
anything.
what's the
Yes.
alternative? You, like, being anxious that there's something going on that you, like, don't know about? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly, exactly. So, she was, like, severely dehydrated,
Hmm.
and, they sent her, like, second urinalysis, like, her little second pee out for, like, a culture to see if there was, like, some different type of bacteria that was causing, like, some type of, I don't know, infection, but she has no kidney stones, no bladder stones. I'm like, "Oh my god, this dog." My god. Oh, she was put on oxygen. Oh my god, it was a shit show. So that and it was 2 back-to-back days, you guys.
Oh.
It was freaking Wednes no, it was Monday, and then it was Tuesday, and then I left Wednesday, and, like, her being in the car going to the doctors both days in a row. So, like, Wednesday when I left, she, like, thought she was going back there again. So, like, the anxiety, like, I was just trying to breathe and stay calm because sometimes, you always say, Mel, like, dogs can read your energy,
Oh,
like, when
for
you're anxious,
sure.
they feel it.
Yeah.
And when Poppy's, like, stressed, I get stressed, so I'm just like, "Okay, let's just breathe, we're calm, she's gonna be fine, it's okay." We get on the flight, she's having fucking a full-blown anxiety attack. I'm like, "Oh my god." I take her out of her crate. I had this amazing man next to me who lives on a farm and, like, fosters horses and has a
Aw.
dog, and he's like, "It's okay, you can put her out," and he's, like, petting her, sending pictures to his wife. I'm like,
Aw, that's so
I know, she
cute.
calmed down, it was all good, we made it back, it's fine, but yeah, it was a bit of a shit show for 2 days, and then I was, like, seeing my grandpa in the hospital in between, and it was a lot. So we're gonna calm the nervous system and be good here for a little bit.
How was it seeing Christopher? Because that was a long trip for you guys
Yeah.
to be apart.
Yeah, it was like 10 days. It was so good. It just was chill. Like, it was just like us and like, "Thanks for coming to get me. I know you're in the car for 3 hours and hate driving and hate me, but thank you, love you." And it was good. We just talked the whole way back and got home and went to, like, our new house, and yeah, that
What's going
was
on with the new house? Did you pick your floor?
no, we're having
What's
a
going on?
the floor we want is held up in, like, customs in, like,
Oh,
California. Like, I don't know what's going like, it's held up. They will not
okay.
release it. Customs, like, switch their whole policy, really fun border stuff. Okay, so the second option, we don't love. There's kind of like a green hue. I can't
Ew.
really explain it. Not green. It's like gray, but, like, not like blonde gray, but it kinda looks like this greenish hue, and like we just don't love it. But if
Why
we
are
wait,
these the only 2 options?
well, we can switch companies, but then like we don't want to get real hardwood floors because like mold issues in Florida. We
Are
don't want
these
to get,
engineered hardwood or are they vinyl?
yes, it's engineered. God, look at you
Okay.
knowing your shit, girl. Yes, engineered. But they're nice. They're nice. But the color we want that you would like love, it could be like another month, and then it just holds up
Why?
everything
That doesn't
because
make
you help.
any
I
sense.
know it's the customs. It's the freaking border. So we're just waiting on this whole floor deal. So we'll see. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Do you
But
think you're just gonna wait?
I think so. I'd rather have exactly what we want,
I
you
mean, it's your
know?
floor in your house, like, that's a big
I know.
deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal for sure.
Like,
But
that
that's,
changes the whole, like
yes. Yes. The builder was saying that yesterday. He's like, look, this is going to change everything. So I don't want to lay all this and you guys be like, nope, we don't like it.
yeah.
So yeah. But yeah. Anything new with you? Anything new you want to share in your life? Well, I'm sure there's a lot, but we like, quick note version. Or you can go on as long as you want. I'm here for it.
I'm not gonna give a lot of detail because,
Yeah.
obviously there's, like, a process going on right now, but I'm having some issues getting back into the States. So, we are working with my lawyer to figure that out now. Um, and honestly, like, we're okay. Like,
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
than not being able to spend time with you and Christopher, um, I feel like we're pretty solid where we are right now,
Yeah.
like in Canada. It's
Yeah.
summer, like we're spending a lot of time with our friends and our families, and we
Yeah.
feel like Ian's getting a lot of therapies at Nobility, and he's just like feeling really, the gym is great. He's feeling great with his training partners. And like we're redoing our bathroom. We'll probably do our other bathroom now that we're staying here. So it's just kind of like we're both happy to be here right now. I honestly, when Ian was like booking for us to go back to Florida, I was kind of like, let's push it. Let's push it a few weeks,
Yeah.
because I was so settled here.
Yeah.
Um, but I still obviously want to be able to come
Yeah.
when I want to. So
Yeah.
that's just what we're trying to figure out now.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been a crazy, crazy journey with all of this. And I just think I saw um someone a few people that I knew at the gym the other day, and I was explaining to them the situation because people are like, "What are you still doing here?"
Yeah.
And he kind of looked at me. He's like, "Do you think everything happens for a reason?"
Mm.
And I was like, "I think things don't necessarily all happen for a reason, but I think you can decide to learn and take the best out of the things that happen to you." And I think my entire last, whatever, 3 years or 2 years, I don't even know how long it's been at this point, my life has been a series of kind of curveballs that I
Mm.
couldn't control and I couldn't predict.
Yeah.
And I think before this period in my life, I was an extremely controlling, um, borderline like harsh person, you know what I mean? I was very I felt like I had control and I was the boss of my life and I was independent and I was fierce and all these things very much in my masculine energy. Um and I think the last like 3 years have really shown me that like that's not actually who I am as a woman, and that if I'm to actually just like release some of the tension and the control that I thought that I was holding over my destiny and over my life, I can actually realize that I'm a very like soft, beautiful, spiritual, loving person. And I don't know if I would have actually like seen myself like that if I didn't go through these hardships. And
Yeah.
it's funny
Wow.
because you when you think about like going through like hardships or like struggles, you think about like becoming like stronger, you know? I'm
Yes.
becoming
Yeah.
stronger and I'm becoming harder. And it's actually been quite the opposite for me. I
Wow, Mel.
I know how I always knew how strong I was. That was never something that, like, came into question, and, like, I'll always, like, show up when I need to, but I think it's almost showing me, like, the softer side of me, which I don't know, I didn't even acknowledge before. I didn't even
Yeah,
think it was there or think it was a possible side of me,
yeah.
and I'm just, like, I'm thankful for everything that happens to me at this point in
Wow.
my life, you know?
That's a beautiful perspective,
Mhm.
seriously. And, like, for
Mhm.
you to gain that and, like, feel better than ever with who you are and your life and where things are at and letting go of control, that's, like that's, like, a great gift. Even
Yeah.
though you're like, "Fuck, why is this happening? Like, why is this so long?" It's just like, look how it's, like, shaped you, you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I miss you, but I'm gonna come see you,
Yeah, you're
okay?
coming too, right?
Yes.
Okay, I
Yes.
was Christopher said he was coming, I'm like, she better be coming too.
Yes. Yes.
Are you guys
Yeah.
staying at my house? Or are you staying at my parents' house?
Girl, I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I wanna bring Poppy because of her arm. Like, she can't, like, walk. It's
You're
like,
not getting an Airbnb when you come
"No,
here.
no, no,
Don't
no,
be
no.
crazy.
No, 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 no." I was gonna have my mom come to Florida to watch her.
Oh.
Yeah, 'cause, your parents have a puppy, you guys have 3 dogs that, like, love to play, and, like,
Yeah.
Poppy loves them. I love your dogs, but I just don't know, like, she's kinda, like, fucked up, girl, and, like, I don't
You're
want her to,
worried
like
that they're gonna, like, run around together and then
yeah,
she's gonna get
she,
fucked
like,
up.
cannot, like, it's like she's just I
Yeah.
feel bad, like, you could tell she wants to play, but, like, I'm, like, way too scared these nerves are gonna get, like, severed, and then it's, like, done. Then the arm's
Yeah.
being dragged, like, it's just yeah, so no, I was gonna have my mom come. I already asked. I'm like, "Mom, could you maybe come here so we could go there?" She's like, "Yeah, it's fine." So, yeah, I'll see you.
Okay. That's good.
I know I haven't seen you in a long time, but it feels like we have because we, like, talk and, like, we do the pod, you know? But I know it's different, like, human interaction, like, together in person, but it's
Yeah, no, I still feel very connected to you, to be honest. I feel
yeah,
like me and you have, like, communicated extremely consistently over the last, like,
yeah,
6 months. Like, we're
yeah,
not I don't know, it doesn't even feel like we really try, we just, like, do now, you
yeah,
know?
for sure.
Whereas, like, my connection with my brother, I think gets very, affected by geographical distance.
Mm, mhm.
And I also think that's just I'm now presented an opportunity to, like, learn how to change that, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be like that.
No, it doesn't. No. Yeah. Wow, look at you. These shifts and changes.
I mean, I feel like especially, like, all the other stuff that I was going through with the last couple weeks, I just, like I have to just, like, let the fuck go. Like,
Yep.
there's no other choice. There's
Yeah.
no other choice, and what
Yeah.
will be, and I'm gonna be okay no matter what.
Yeah.
That's all that I know,
Yeah.
you know?
I can say as, like, a friend and,
Mm,
like, someone who knows you, like, when I first met you, like, 5 years ago, there was even, like, year 1, year 2, year 3, there was a very, like you're an amazing human, but there was almost like a wall that just felt, like,
mhm,
tight, like you were in this, like, bubble wrap or something, and you couldn't
mhm.
be, like, this woman that you really are, which is soft and, like, loving and, like, in her feminine and all of these things because I felt like it was, like, kind of constricted. I don't know, like, you didn't know those parts were in there. And, like, even though we haven't seen each other, I feel like you are just, like, different. Like, it's like, you as a person hasn't changed. You're always, like, Melissa to her core, but, like, your energy, like, people might think I'm fucking woo woo for this whole energy shit, but, like, the energy has changed, girl.
I think
You just
I was a lot more guarded before, you know what I mean?
yes.
I felt like
Just
there was, like, this, like, spiky wall that I kind of, like and it wasn't up all the time, like, sometimes it
no.
would come down with certain people at certain times, but, like, a lot of times it was up, and, I used to always, like I knew it was there, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
feel like I've always been self-aware, but I never really, like, understood why. I used to always think, like, "Oh, it's because you're" I would always go back to this thing, um, of, like, I would be, like, an insecure or jealous woman, and that's why I would act like that.
Mhm.
and it never really, like, fit when people would say that to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, honestly, I'm not trying to be, like, mean or anything, but, like, I find men say that a lot, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you say something, that's not super positive and it's, like, a bit negative or whatever, a lot of times men will look at you and be like, "You're just jealous. You're
Yeah.
insecure."
Yeah.
And I kind of was like, "Okay, maybe that is it." Like, I'm not so in my ego that I'm like, "No, it's not." I was like,
Yeah.
"Maybe it is it," but it never really fit.
Mhm.
Um, I actually think I still do, I'm working through it. I think I just have a lot of, like, trust issues with people in
Yeah.
terms of, like, letting them in or feeling like
Yeah.
they're gonna love me or feeling like they're gonna like me even, like, that kind of was, like, and it's not out of insecurity because I know my worth, I know my value as a human, but it's more out of, like, fear of,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
rejection or being a
Right.
burden or, like, not being accepted, stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. And like that just came out as like you said, like kind of that spiky wall. Because I
Mhm.
never got the vibe that you were like insecure and jealous and, had these like
Yeah, but, no, not a single woman has ever said that to me in my life. I've
yeah, I
never
never got that vibe
no.
from you.
My
I just
listen,
I
I
thought
have
you were guarded. You were
y
just guarded. You were just
yeah,
very
I have a
spiky
lot
wall.
of female friends. I'm close with a lot of women. They've never once told me that I come across as insecure or jealous, but, like, I've actually heard a couple men that are, like, close in my life say that to me, and I'm like, "Listen, that's a very simple way to maybe explain some behaviors," and I think a lot of men assume that all women are like jealous of each other and hyper competitive and like always comparing, and I don't really find that to be the truth, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
no, I don't
find
either.
I find women actually like really can appreciate each other a lot of the time. I
Yeah.
think there's like this weird narrative that goes on that like women are catty and all this stuff, and I don't really buy into it.
For majority, no, I don't. For
No.
some, yes, I do. Or there's something going inside and it's that they are so, like, conflicted with inside themselves and
Yeah,
they
but
project. But it's
it's
not
still
huge
gonna
for
go
men.
into them though.
Yes. Yeah. It's
It's
really not about the other person, it's
W
about yeah.
women at their nature are loving, caring individuals. We're not gonna just, like, all of us only feel that towards, like, men and not towards other women.
Yeah.
I think it always comes down to something that's, like, unhealed and broken inside of the individual, and that's, like I don't know, I feel like I just have a lot more, like, compassion for people lately.
Mm. Oh, that's awesome, Mel. Yeah.
Well, so do you, actually. You always have, though.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a very sensitive
You're a very compassionate,
mm,
empathetic individual.
yeah. I would say for the most part, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I feel a lot of people's feelings.
Mhm,
Don't like, I actually do, especially
mhm,
people I'm close to. I,
mhm.
like I don't wanna say get like, you know, sad or stressed for them, but kind of a little bit. That's not maybe necessarily the best thing, but I just feel a lot for others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do you find that, like you obviously don't, like, resent that,
No, I don't.
and you also don't run away from it.
No. No. I used to not like that I was, like, sensitive, though.
Why
I
didn't
I
you like it?
I don't know. I thought it was just you're like a weak, like you're just weak.
Oh,
You're
you
just
thought it was a
sensitive.
weakness.
Yeah, like a weakness and just like not you're not if you're sensitive, you can't be strong. When now I like that's not true at all,
Yeah.
actually. You know?
How do you feel about your sensitive side now?
I just posted something because like I followed this psychologist, and mentioned something about like sensitivity and I like resonated with it. And I just feel like it's a gift to feel and it's a gift to feel for others and to be sensitive and to like experience that.
Mhm.
I don't shame it now. I'm just like, oh, like it's a great thing, you know?
I also think you have to see what comes from it because, like, the ability that you have to connect with people and that people are so drawn to you, you're so magnetic is probably because of that huge part of who you are, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Thanks, Mel. Yeah. I think
Ian
so.
Ian
Maybe.
was on a live last night with, like, Tarek and, Bob Cicherello.
Oh yeah, the
Eh
Olympia piece.
yeah, he was doing the Olympia TV, and he starts talking about, like, the family, you know what I mean? He's
Uh,
like, "The family, like, we have we have sebum, like, the, like, most amazing genetics, and then we have Courtney King, Miss Olympia," and he said that you were, like, the biggest doll ever on stage, like, everyone just, like, always, like, was so drawn to you on stage because you were such a doll.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, just me, you know. Do you think I've changed a lot since we've met? Or no? Kind of, in different ways. Or maybe
I
not.
No, I think you've changed a lot. I think
I just turned 25 when we met, Mel. I turned 25, like, the month before your wedding.
I think when I first met you that you were so not ashamed, that's not the right word, dismissive of the parts of you that you didn't really like,
Mm,
that, like, it created a lot of, like, um, inauthentic interactions and, like,
yeah,
defensiveness sometimes.
yeah,
Whereas now I see you as someone that's, like, almost able to accept yourself like you accept others, and it's just made you a lot more easy to connect with on, like, a very deep level. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah. I would have to agree. I feel like I had some like, I don't like the word inauthentic, but it kinda was. Like, I wasn't trying to be fake, but I just didn't like these parts
It
of me, and
but
it was hard for you to connect.
it wasn't even that you didn't I didn't feel like you didn't not like the parts of you, I felt like you had spent so long, ignoring them
Mm,
that you just, like, kind of lived as if they weren't there.
yeah,
And for
yeah,
me, I just felt like I never felt like you were being fake or, like, putting on an act. I never felt like that. I just felt like sometimes you how you saw yourself or how you wanted to see yourself wasn't actually for who you were, and that just kind of changed how you, like, moved in the world. Whereas
yes,
now I feel like you see yourself for all that you are and you're accepting and loving of it, so now how you move is just, like, you all the time,
yeah,
and that's the most special thing about, like, creating a close relationship with somebody, right?
yeah,
And, like,
yeah,
I don't care if sometimes, like, Ian's a dick or sometimes Christopher's irritable and he's not super gracious. I don't care about those things because they're being themselves with me. That's
yeah,
like the
yes,
biggest gift that anyone could ever give me.
yeah. Oh, I love that, and that's, like, true showing up authentically, truly you know,
Well,
not like I was always like the girl, like, "Are you good?" "Yeah, it's great, everything's fine." Like, I couldn't ever, like, not be, like, the chipper, happy, on all the time, smiley person where no one's fucking like that all the time. Like,
well, no, and like I want you to trust me enough to be able to like tell me if you aren't, or even
mhm,
to tell me if I did something fucked up to you. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I was talking to Ian about this um today when we were driving home because I okay, I'm gonna use fake names, okay?
okay,
Um, Johnny bought Patricia a present
okay,
and she didn't like it,
okay,
but she didn't tell him.
okay,
So I'm talking to Ian about this and he was like, "Oh yeah, well, I would have done the same thing. I wouldn't have told Johnny I didn't like it." And I was like, I would have told you." And he was like, "I know you would have." And I was like, "Oh my god, how dare you say that?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Am I a bitch?" And he was like, or no, I think I said, "Am I a bad person?" He's like, "Honestly, I think that makes you a better person." And I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "I don't know, you're being honest with me. Like
yeah,
you're telling me that you don't like the present, whereas Patricia's not telling Johnny. She's going and telling all her friends that she didn't like it."
yeah, 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 where you're straight up literally, we had a perfect example of this. Remember when he got you those Chanel earrings? Like, these diamond Chanel things, and Melissa's like, "Nope, not me." Like, you're like, "They're great, but, like, they're just not me." Like, you were nice, but you're just like,
Okay, but
you were
yes,
honest.
and that's what he said to me. He's like, "You're very nice. Like, you always say, like, thank you so much for putting in the effort and thinking about this. This is so nice, but, like,
Yeah,
this is a lot of money, and I don't think I really like it that much."
yeah, yeah. I
And
respect that. Yes,
would you do that if Christopher bought you something that you didn't like?
I would. Now I would.
Yeah.
Before, probably not. No. I was just like, "Thank you so much." Like, you know?
Yeah.
I want to really be expressive. Or
Yeah.
even, like, when you asked, like, when you're like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Oh, this fucking thing I'm dealing with my fucking hair," and but, like, when I told you and I just, like that felt, like, good. I'm like, "Ah, okay, little safe space with Mel, just, like, kind of, get that off my chest," and you're always like that. When I'm like, "Are you good?" And you're like, "No, not really," like but I like that. I'm like, that does build trust, though. That
Yeah.
builds trust,
Yeah.
and that's, like, the best thing, like you said, like, Ian can be a dick and Christopher can be irritable, but, like, they're showing up, like, they feel safe,
Mhm.
so they can be authentically them.
Okay, well, should we wrap it up?
Yeah,
I
let's
don't
wrap it
even
up.
we didn't really talk well, no, we talked about a lot, I think.
We did. We talked about a lot. Just like again, you guys, we're like haven't talked, just hit record, boom, and get into it. No outline for this, but it was good. It flowed. It was great. Yeah, comment below what other topics you would like us to talk about, guys. Thanks for dealing with the lateness, and we will see you next time.
You're so cheesy. Do you feel
I
awkward doing the
know.
intros and the outros?
Yeah, a little, because 'cause you're just so normal. You're like, "What's up, guys? Welcome back to Giver." I'm like, "Hello."
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I listen to other podcasts and they have, like, music, and then they say
I
the same thing every
know.
week, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm so unprofessional."
I know. Me too. It's okay. We can be that together.
Yeah.
Just lean into us. Okay, well, I
Lead
love you,
I love you too.
and, I'll talk to you this weekend for sure. We'll
Yeah, of
figure out
course.
time.
We're glad you're back too, because I can't
Thanks.
do any more alone. I hate myself.
Oh, you're amazing, but okay, I'm glad to be back. All right.
Okay, I
Bye,
love
guys.
you. I love
Love
you
you.
guys.
Love you
Bye.
guys. Bye.
See you next week.